Welcome discussions with DT Parker. My mouth had juices. My boyfriend just cut up a watermelon and we had some of that. So might be those juices. Anyway, welcome to discussions with DT Parker. Wasn't able to get on Twitch because of what? Hey, Harlem 5408. Wasn't able to get on Twitch because of the, I guess, nature of what we're getting ready to talk about today. So Twitch is not active today, but we are active on IG, of course, right now. And YouTube, thank you for the folks that play these back and run them back. I appreciate you guys. For the folks that haven't already done so, please make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Welcome, new folks. Discussions with DT Parker. Today's topic is a little interesting, and I'm hoping that IG does not kick me off for this topic today. Because I was having trouble getting on with Twitch, so fingers crossed. But I'm gonna say the word and then I'll keep it cute, because again, I'm not trying to get kicked off of IG. But sperm jacking. Have you ever heard of the terminology sperm jacking? And I hadn't heard of it until today. My mama actually sent me this and I was like, oh, that's interesting. For all those that don't know what that means, it's sperm theft. It refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves. And they said that this can happen several ways. Birth control sabotage is one way. A partner lying about taking birth control or tampering with the birth control methods. The second is collecting semen post-sex. So retrieving semen from a used condom or other means to self-inseminate. And then, of course, you have SA, the instance of when a female on male does an SA, sexual, you get it, that results in a pregnancy. But am I the only one who was today's years old? I've never heard of this terminology, sperm jacking. And people are out here really doing this. People are out here really doing this. Because again, like I said, this is definitely something new for me. I never heard of the term. I do remember, I don't know if it was in a song or it was definitely something I saw on social, where Drake put hot sauce in his used condom and then flushed it down the toilet because he didn't want to have another baby. And I was like, that works? That works? But if you heard of it, I mean, holla at me. This is Discussions with DT Parker. This is not a silent where I do all of the talking type of podcast. We chat back with one another. This is a very interactive podcast. But let me know, what are your thoughts on this? Semen, I'm gonna clean it up and make it pretty. Semen jacking. It's the theft of semen, refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves. Again, I don't know of anybody who's ever done of this. And the only story that I can tie into this is remembering when allegedly Drake used hot sauce for one of his escapades. Because I think this was around the time when, who was it? The Clips had exposed him for having a baby. And then we found out he had the baby by the porn star. So I don't know if this is like the measure that he now has since taken when he sleeps with women. Like, yeah, I'm a need. Well, takes the condom and then, because I remember the girl the girl saying she was mad because he did that. I'm like, girl, what are you mad about? Hey, mama, we're talking about your topic you gave me today, sperm jacking. Had no idea, like I said, that this was even a thing. It is the theft of semen. It refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves. And they said that this can happen happen several different ways. One being birth control sabotage, a partner lying about taking oral contraceptives or tampering with birth control. And then the other ways are collecting semen post-sex, retrieving semen from a used condom or other means to self-inseminate. And then SA, which is sexual, you get it. The instance where a female has, and then it results in a pregnancy. Again, like I said, I was today years old when I learned about this, because baby, I have never, when I say ever heard of anything like this. There are people out here really doing stuff like this, like doing stuff, sperm jacking. I mean, I'm sure it happens, well, maybe I'm not sure, because like I said, the Drake thing was the only thing that I have ever heard where a female was dead ass mad about him putting hot sauce in that condom. And I was like, damn, does that work? Does it work? Does hot sauce kill? I thought once they, okay, I guess I'm a little, because I thought once men, the semen hit the air anyway, then it was no good anymore. That's what I thought. So what am I missing from this? Because how is this even a thing? Because like I said, I thought once it hit that air, that all bets was off. I thought once you didn't shoot the club up, all bets was off. So, definitely interesting. This is definitely an interesting topic. Have you heard of it? Semen jacking. I'm going to keep it cute because I was not able. Hey, Oliver Morris. I was not able to get on Twitch with this today. Twitch was like, oh, nope, that word's banned. And then I tried to change it to semen jacking. And it was like, nope, that word's banned. I was like, well, damn, I guess I can't go to Twitch with this. I guess this will be all IG and YouTube today. But yeah, y'all quiet today in this chat. Nobody ain't got nothing to say. Nobody ain't ever heard of this. Semen jacking, sperm jacking. Nobody. The chat is silent. I keep using, because again, today when my mother sent this to me was my first time ever hearing somebody or hearing this term. I even had to say, what is that? What is that? And then my boyfriend, he just asked me, he was like, well, what are you going to talk about today? And I was like, oh, we're talking about sperm jacking. And he didn't even know what it was. And he's younger than me. And I would think he would know what it is. But yeah, if you don't know, the definition is sperm theft refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves. I was looking for the part too. Mama, I didn't see the part where it says even if you, and men, I just need y'all to pay attention to this little part right here. Because even if you didn't give your consent or you had no knowledge of the pregnancy, you may still be on the hook for child support. Yeah, you could possibly still be on the hook for child support even though she did that to you. Mama said nope because I saw it on a judge show and she had a baby, took the condom from the trash. Did the baby end up being his? That's interesting. Davis Legacy Group heard about that Drake thing. Yeah, that's because that girl was mad. She took to the internet. That's how mad she was about the situation, that she couldn't have no little Drake babies, no little Aubrey babies. Sorry, boo. He done caught game to that. I don't know if that was the situation with him and the porn star. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he put hot sauce in that thing. And I guess hot sauce kills. It kills semen anyway. Yeah, because where did he learn that technique from? Again, you learn something new every day. Hey, Pecan Brown, we got an interesting one today. Welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. Now, let me know if you ever heard of this terminology. And I'm sorry, this is in the PG-13 live today. So if you have children by, please cover their ears. But we're talking about sperm jacking. Question, do you know what that is? Did you fellas, and I do have some fellas on here. Have you fellas, be honest with me. Have you heard of this before? Besides the Drake thing. Have you heard of this before? Like, and the fact that you, even not knowing that you made this baby or gave your consent, still could be on the hook for child support. It's crazy. No, the baby wasn't his. She thought it was. Okay. So that thing didn't work. She wanted it to be his. The lies that people tell. Now, Mama, let me ask you a question. The judge on that show said that he could be held liable even though he didn't know. Because that's the part that I think is crazy. Because how do you force somebody to pay child support on a child that they did not know about or consent to? Like, where do they do that at? Where do they do that at? That is crazy. I wish I knew more stories, but like I said, Drake is the only up-to-date story that I can give y'all. Because I didn't even know that this was a thing. I'm not even going to hold you. What up, 1985? I had no idea that this was even a thing. Who does this? Well, I know who does this. What up, 1985? Welcome to Discussions with Dee Parker. Today, we're talking about sperm jacking. If you don't know what that is, sperm jacking is the theft of semen. It refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves. Again, I was today years old when I found out what that definition was. I didn't know this was a thing. And they said it happens through several methods. Now I can see this, the birth control sabotage. Because, yeah, I can see this. Because, yeah, saying, oh, yeah, I'm on birth control, but you're not taking your birth control right. I definitely can see that. A partner lying about taking oral contraceptives or tampering with birth control. Then they said collecting semen post-sex, retrieving semen from a used condom or other means to self-inseminate. Now, the only one thing I could think of, and I keep repeating myself because, again, I was today years old when I found out what the hell this was the Drake situation when the girl took to social media and she was big mad because Drake put hot sauce in the condom after he did skeet in it and was getting ready to flush it down the toilet. But before he flushed, I'm like, he made sure. So he put the hot sauce and flushed it down the toilet just to make sure that this woman wouldn't say, oh boy, she thought she had him now. The joke was on you when she actually, I take that back. He threw it in the trash. I take that back. He threw it in the trash. She got the condom from out of the trash can and thought she was the joke was on her when she found out it was hot sauce in it. Hold on. Mama said yes. And she also got him money for So she was giving money for emotional distress, even though the baby was not his. And he could have been held liable for this baby because she took the semen out of the condom. That's crazy. Mama said it does say on Google, men can still be responsible for child support regardless. Wow. 1985 say, yeah, they take the condom out the trash and use a turkey baster to get the sperm. I'm raising a son in this world. That's scary, 1985. But I thought 1985, and for the rest of my men, because y'all quiet, I thought once the semen hit air, it was no longer, you see what I'm saying? So once the condom comes off, he puts it in the trash. I thought once it hit air that the little yellow floaters weren't good no more. I'm just asking. I'm really asking a question. Mama said the judge gave him money, not her, for doing what she did. Oh, okay. Well, good for that judge. He needed some emotional distress. Because what the hell? So that means she took that condom and used the turkey baster to plump. And it still wasn't his baby. Pecan Brown said, nasty and desperate, shaking my head. Pecan Brown, what is the world coming to, girl? I didn't even know what this word, when my mama said it to me, chat, this morning, I said, she said, have you heard of this word called sperm jacket? I said, hell to the no. What is that? And she sent it to me. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, you learn something new every day. 1985 said, not all of the sperm in the condom touches air. But I thought once the shooters shoot and they don't land where they land, that they was dead. That's what I thought. Again, I ain't no doctor, so I don't know the scientifics. But that's what I thought. Once the little shooters. I remember watching that video and what was it? What was that stupid class we had to take in high school? Was it sex ed? I believe it was sex ed, yeah. Sex ed, where they teach you about that type of stuff. And yeah, I don't think I remember having to put the condom on the banana though. But we did have to carry the little baby. And that little baby, oof, I remember doing that project. And that little damn baby cried in the middle of the night chair. I was like, you couldn't pay me enough to make no baby right now. Hell to the no. But yeah, crazy world. What up, got you open ENT? Welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. We are chatting today on something I had no idea about, and no idea that women were out here really moving like this, called sperm jacking. If you don't know what the definition of it is, it's sperm theft. Should you not go to jail for that though? Question. If you jack somebody's sperm unwillingly, unknowingly. Hey, Chocolatey Monday, long time no see, sugar. Should they not go to jail for that? That's theft. If I steal from a store, I go to jail, no? I'm just saying. New folks, discussions, Dee Dee Parker. I learned a new word, or not word, term today. Sperm jacking. Have you ever heard of it? I've never heard of it until today, years old. It's the theft of sperm. It refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent, hey boo, or knowledge to impregnate themselves. And they said that this can happen several ways. Birth control sabotage, which I've heard of that. I've never heard it called sperm jacking though. I heard it, yeah. She purposely got pregnant. Yeah, things like that, but not this. Is where a partner lying about taking oral contraceptives or tampering with birth control methods. What up, Swisher? And then the second one is collecting semen post-sex. So retrieving semen from a used condom or other means to self-inseminate. And then they said SA, which is sexual assault. The instance of a female on male SA that results in a pregnancy. And I just learned today, if a woman does this, what up, Swisher? Did you hear what we're talking about? I just learned that if a woman does this, sperm jacking, with you, without your knowledge, men, you still might be on the hook for child support. So, just things to think about. Got you open ET, were you saying yes, that they should go to jail? 1985 said women don't go to jail for sperm theft. They don't go to jail for lying about sexual assault. So they don't go to jail for lying about abuse. But I'm asking, should they, because I mean, it is theft. If he unwillingly did not know, what up, V Davis? If he unwillingly did not know and you took his, I can't just go into a store and take something. I don't know. I don't know. Swisher said, say what? Mama said, it's a crime. Don't know the penalty for doing it. Oh! So it is a crime. But what man is really going to press charges? I mean, men, I don't... And then the possibility you could be on the hook for a child that you didn't even know or consent to? Baby. Pecan Brown said, can it be proven that the sperm was actually stolen or jacked? Ooh. Okay, Pecan Brown. Make this conversation. Okay, then. If it actually got to court, would it be her? It would be his word. That's a good point. That's a good point. Because how do you prove that somebody actually stole your semen? It is basically your word against theirs. But if she brought a turkey baster, I mean, receipts don't lie. Because in my mind, you have to plan for this, no? Because if you're inseminating yourself with a turkey baster, you got to go out and buy a turkey baster. I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Swisher said, yeah, how would you be able to prove it? Mama said, one that doesn't want a baby, LOL. 1985 said, I'm pressing charges and I want full custody. So you would press charges, 1985. But then again, how would you prove it? How would you prove that? Swisher said, how she jacked this sperm without me knowing? Because if you use the condom, Swisher, and I gave an example of Drake, because again, I was today years old when I learned about sperm jacking and what it was. Because big shout out to Mama, she sent this to me. She said, have you ever heard of sperm jacking? I said, no, what the hell is that? And then she sent it to me and she's like, oh, it's the death of sperm without a man knowing or consenting. I'm like, why? How is that possible? So I'm with you, Swisher. Swisher said, how she? Okay, read that. Mama said, Swisher, from a condom in the trash. And he said, oh yeah, I'm tripping. And I was getting ready to say that. So going back, the only example I can give you is Drake. Remember, I don't know if you remember, it was maybe some years back, maybe a couple years back, a girl got on this internet. It was big mad that Drake had put hot sauce in a condom. And I was like, oh, that's clever. Hot sauce works. I didn't know hot sauce kills semen. Fellas, it does? That's a question. It does? Because I didn't know. I just thought it was weird. I said, why would he put hot sauce? So the girl, she was big mad. She took it in like, oh, I slept with Drake and this ninja had the nerve to put hot sauce in the condom. Girl, you went in the bathroom and dug that condom up. I mean, yeah. Anyway. So she said, oh yeah, I'm tripping. So she said, gotta flush him. LOL. Fellas, to be on the safe side, yeah, I would flush it. That kind of coming with me to my house. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, because I'm sure celebrities run into this, where they have women, especially if they got money, who might try some mess like this. But I don't know too many turkey baster babies. I would like to meet them. Was you made from a turkey baster? This is not a laughing matter. No, seriously, though. Was you made from a turkey baster? Swisher. I'm just asking. Was you made from a turkey? Like, how does that work? That's crazy. And then your mom telling you how you was made. Oh, son, daughter, I made you. I got your semen from your father, and I had to use a turkey baster to. Oh my goodness. Sperm jacking. What has 2026 come to, child? It has come to. It's dangerous out here. Y'all stay safe out here in these streets, child. Because ain't no way. I don't see no. Again, that turkey baster thing seems like it's a lot of work. So, I mean, I don't know. The whole thing, to just plot to get the condom, then to, self-inseminate it. And I don't, again, and my fellas, I know 1985 answered. He said not all of you guys is semen. Because I thought once them little floaters hit that condom, that it was a wrap. And once it hit the air, it was a wrap. But he said it's not. I guess all of y'all stuff is not dormant. So I guess some of them little floaters is strong. They like, we here. But, where I guess YouTube universe, Mama said, get a vasectomy. There was a young boy in his 20s that did that, because he said one of these little streamers, I can't remember his name, but he actually in his 20s got a vasectomy because he likes sex, he said, but he just don't want no babies. I'm not sure if he had any kids, but he said he didn't want babies or he didn't want any more babies. Something to that extent. But this is just, this measure here, sperm jacking, again, I would have never, you couldn't have told me in a million years that there are folks actually doing this. And it's crazy because I brought it up to boyfriend and he was like, what are you talking about today? I was like, mama gave me a good one, sperm jacking. He was like, what is that? I said, I know, what is that? I asked mama the same thing because I've never heard of this terminology. And I hope to never hear it again. Like I said, the last incident that I had heard of was actually, hey, Z-World, the latest incident that I heard of was when Drake did it and he put the hot sauce in the condom. And the girl got on the internet and was fussing because he did that. New folks, welcome. Discussions, Dee Parker. We have been chatting about sperm jacking or sperm theft. It refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves. And they said that this can happen several ways. One being birth control sabotage, a partner lying about taking oral contraceptives or tampering with birth control methods. The next one is collecting semen post-sex, retrieving semen from a used condom or other means to self-inseminate or SA. And I want to add that even fellas, even if you don't know, even if you did not give your consent for this, you can still be on the hook for this child. 1985 said he's pressing charges and he said he is going for full custody of the kid. And then I asked people that do this, because isn't that technically theft? Shouldn't they go to jail? And then Pecan Brown made a very good point, because how are you going to prove it though? That they actually jacked your sperm. How are you going to prove that? Because like she said, it really would be your word against their word. So I don't know how a judge would make that decision unless, like with murders, people to be doing stuff. So if she brought that turkey baster and a judge or a good lawyer can, look, she went into Walmart on this day, brought this turkey baster or brought this, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. You know what I'm saying? Or what if she went to a doctor to get it done? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a crazy world out here. Whew. The thought that somebody could jack your sperm is just insane. Very, very insane. And like I said, never heard of it. Only case I've heard was Drake. But she didn't get a chance to jack it because he was smart about the hot sauce or whatever. I'm still curious because none of my men are really answering my questions besides 1985. Hot sauce kills it? I guess that's my question. I'm about to Google it now. But does hot sauce kill it? Because I'm curious. Because he put hot sauce on that thing. So he must know something that we don't know. Kills, let's see. I'm Googling it now. Does hot sauce... No, hot sauce is not an effective way to kill sperm or prevent pregnancy. So what the hell is the hot sauce for if it don't work? See, and it pulled up. As soon as I put that in, it says Drake's hot sauce and condoms, potential legal issues. And this happened in 2022. So I knew I was on point. What up, Aim Love? Welcome to the chat. Today we are talking about... And sorry, this is not PG-13, but we're talking about sperm jacking. Yes, this is a thing. It goes on. I had no idea. You learn something new every day. I'm looking at this law firm because now I'm very curious. Yeah, accused Singer-rapper Aubrey Drake grammar of putting hot sauce inside a condom after a consensual sexual encounter at a hotel. It alleged after he disposed of the condom, she took it out of the trash and attempted to impregnate herself inside the bathroom, not realizing what it contained. Allegedly, she went into the bathroom and it was heard screaming and physically injured. According to the reports, Drake admitted to the woman that he put the hot sauce in the condom to kill the sperm. The model is now threatening to sue Drake for pain and suffering. How are you suing him and you try to do some snake stuff? See? No. So that's the only instance where but they didn't even call it semen jacking. You know what I'm saying? They just said she put the hot sauce in the condom. So crazy times that we live in. Like I said, never in a million years would I have thought that, people were out here doing it. I mean, I'm sure, like I said, celebrities may encounter this situation where they have women claiming to be, pregnant by them. They might have did it this way. Pecan Brown says, Google says hot sauce can cause severe burning in the valvia, or, I think I said that right, Pecan Brown, or vagina. I know, but she the one that did it, Pecan Brown. She the one that inflicted herself. So how she the one. She went into the bathroom thinking, I'm coming up. She thought a come up was coming. Mama said, LOL, wait, she gonna sue him for trying to be sneaky? That's what I said. I don't think that went anywhere. Like I said, that was in 2002. Pecan Brown said maybe that's why he used the hot sauce. Oh, I hope not. I hope not. Because again, Pecan Brown, the hot sauce thing, when I read it first, I was like, I like hot sauce on my food. I didn't know it could kill. If hot sauce could kill semen, what else could it kill? I was like, wait, should I be worried about my hot sauce? But nah, I mean, I thought he put the hot sauce. Well, he did. He said he put the hot sauce in there to kill the semen. But like we just read, Pecan Brown, because I Googled it too. It don't kill. It does not kill sperm or prevent pregnancy. So, fellas, if you putting hot sauce in them condoms, you can go ahead and stop, because it don't work. Hey, Gemini Smiley, welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. We've been talking. This isn't a PG-13 conversation today, so I do apologize for my folks out there. This is a grown folks conversation. I've never heard of this terminology until today. Sperm jacking. Have you heard of it? Sperm jacking. Me never heard of the terminology before until today. Until Mama sent it to me. But I keep bringing, because and I'm sure there are plenty, when I say this, I'm sure there are plenty of other stories like this. It's just that you don't hear about them. This woman was bold. She didn't count. She said, yeah, me and Drake had consensual sex. And she thought she was going to get a baby out of it, thinking she was going to go to the bathroom and get the semen out that condom and insert herself in that bathroom. And Drake said, not so fast. But I'm like, Swisher, why y'all not flushing these condoms down the toilet when y'all not finished? I'm just saying, wouldn't that be the proper precaution to flush them down the toilet after you get done, so you ain't got to worry about somebody stealing your semen? And then I asked too, should they go to jail? And then Pecan Brown brought up some good points. How could you charge somebody if you can't prove it? And I'm like, well, it is theft. Should they not go to jail? Should somebody not press charges on them? Mama said, Pecan Brown, if he put it in condom and she never took the condom out, how did he do it intentionally? I think what she was saying is maybe that's why he put the hot sauce in there, knowing that it would. But I'm not sure Pecan, I don't think that, again, I don't know Drake. I'm not in Drake's head, so I'm not 100% sure what was going through Drake's head when he did it at the time. But I'm sure Drake is not the first male to think. And I wish I had some guys that would speak up today on discussions. Everybody's quiet besides 1985. Again, and men, you could probably answer this question better for me. But I already know the answer because I Googled it. But were you under the impression that hot sauce kills semen? Were you under that impression? I'm just asking. Gemini Smiley said, flushing at your house is a no-no. Septic tank gonna be backed up. I don't have a septic tank. Or, how many people got septic tank? What you supposed to do with it? I wouldn't put it in no trash. I don't know. But then this goes back to all of our other conversations. You know, the people that you sleep with. Sheesh. You know, I know F.A. got on here yesterday and said he's had, you know, one night stands with a woman, with women he met 2 hours in a new city. You know? So, you don't really know somebody in 2 hours. So you don't know what they're capable of. You know? I don't know. Mama said, yeah, but she shouldn't have taken it out the trash. No. She thought she was about to get a baby. She thought she was about to be baby mama number 2. Drake said, not so fast. Mama said you can rinse it with water. I'm like, I don't know. Again, I guess my question, why would you leave something like that around? I know you were having consensual sex, but how well do you know these women that you trust them enough, especially Drake being a celebrity? Let's be real. He being a celebrity, a star, she probably like, I want to be taken care of. He had the baby with the porn star. I want to be taken care of. Why I can't be taken care of? She thought she was about to get a baby out of that. Drake said, not so fast. Fellas, again, question. Have you ever heard of hot sauce being an effective method to killing sperm or preventing pregnancy? Because I mean, when I initially heard the story, I was like, oh, I didn't know hot sauce kills sperm. So Pecan Brown said maybe he put it in so that if she did try to use it, it would cause burning sensation. I mean, that is a possibility, Pecan Brown. Only Drake knows what was going through his head. Because when I first heard the story, I was like, hot sauce? Oh, okay. Interesting. Mama said put it in your pockets, LOL. So all the semen can leak out on them? Ew. I guess after they dump it, right? Hey Vic, Trip 3. After they dump it, right, then that's still nasty. Ooh, a worn condom in your pocket. Ooh, no. Ooh, no. New folks, welcome to Discussions with Dee Parker. Wasn't able to get on Twitch today because I guess it's a sensitive topic. So just, if you're not into, this is Discussions. We talk a little bit about everything. And today we're talking about sperm jacking. You're probably, some of you, what is that? It's the theft of sperm. Had no even idea that was even a thing, but it is out here in 2026. God help us all. And it, according to Google, the definition refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves. And then they break down several methods on how this is possible. Now, this first method I have heard of before, because those are the oops babies, where women not taking their birth control right, or lying about being on birth control, or tampering with their birth control. I've heard of that one. But this one here, this one right here, D.T. Parker, has never heard of, which is retrieving semen from a used condom or other means to self-inseminate. There's women out here doing that. Ladies, don't tell me y'all out here for real doing stuff like this. Please tell me you're not out here doing turkey based or stuff like this. Mama said Pecan Brown, it's still her fault. Well, man. I'm trying not to laugh at that situation. And then the audacity of her trying to sue Drake because you was trying to be a snake. I was like, wait, not you trying to sue Drake because you got caught out there. And then the Pecan Brown said, I agree, mama. I agree. And then it's essay, sexual assault, the instance of a female on male. What up, F.A.? This is right up your alley today. I know you're going to love this. Come on into the chat. So come on in. New folks, if I have any, I'm so sorry for the folks that have been on here and rocking with me for the whole time. But I got to keep repeating myself because we keep getting new folks on here. So again, I apologize. Hold on. Let me let F.A. in before I do this breakdown. If I can. Everything has been active. All right, F.A., I'm letting you in. Let me see if it'll let you in. And then we'll get back into what we are talking about again. What up, F.A.?
Yo, yo, yo.
What up, F.A.? All right, so we're going to get right into it. Sperm jacking.
Say it again.
Sperm jacking.
What is that? Sperm jacking.
Thank you. I didn't know what that was either. Sperm theft refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves.
Good. They should make that a crime.
I asked that question. Should this be a crime?
Yeah, it should be a crime. 100%.
Now, let me give you, they said this can happen through several methods. Birth control sabotage, a partner lying about taking oral contraceptives or tampering with birth control methods, which we talked about.
Right.
The second one, which I didn't know females was out here really doing stuff like this. Collecting semen post-sex.
Oh, yeah.
Retrieving semen from a used condom or other means to self-inseminate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that
And
happens.
the third one, essay, is essay, sexual assault, where a female or on male sexual assault results in a pregnancy.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But the gag of this all is, essay,
Yeah.
you can be held liable and be put on child support, even though you didn't give consent, and even though you didn't know about the kid. This woman, if she has this baby with you, can place you on child support, and you will have to pay.
From you, not with you. But yeah, that's why I
Yes, from
say,
you. Yes.
that's why I say, they need to update these family court laws because it's still based in, it's still written from a time where it's not today, and not even when I mean by time, I mean literally like women didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Women didn't even have the right to work when some of these laws were, provisions were put in place. So, they need to remove this stuff. Women, they need to, they need to overhaul completely. And trust me, they with family courts, they've been doing a lot more with divorce. They have been
Mm-hmm.
doing a lot more with like changing the rules of divorce, and because in Florida they used to have lifetime alimony, which is
Oh, really?
insane.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they just done away. They just did away with lifetime alimony, but all that stuff is family court. So they need to do away with some of these rules because one,
That's a crime,
it
though.
only breeds. I mean, it only like you have the law that it almost encourages and it helps these women that are predators. You know what I mean? These women that are out here literally trying to get pregnant by men for a meal ticket. You know what I mean? And we know these things happen. Like instead of them working on their character and trying to become a better woman where that man may like her,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's not that, they're so low character. They kind of been taught and conditioned to just get pregnant. But that's more of at least you get 18 years of, child support. And it's really sad. You know what I mean? That our women are, this happens a lot. I'm telling you, I
I
know
was gonna
that.
say I never heard it. I never heard
So
of
what I
this.
mean by this, I'm not necessarily saying what you're saying. This happens a
Okay.
lot. What I'm saying is a lot of women intentionally have babies with men, especially if they do well. And it's not even you got to be rich. You can just be a normal nigga that do well, and they'll be happy with that $1,500 or $2,000 or whatever $1,000 child support, whatever that gives them security. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. That happens a lot now with the whole taking the semen out of the. That's how Drake had his son. The girl did that.
Oh, the porn star.
Yeah, that's how he got pregnant. That's how
Oh
she
no no
got.
no! Because I was
Oh,
just talking about Drake and another girl with the hot sauce. Do you remember that story? Where the girl got
mm-mm.
mad at Drake because he put hot sauce in the condom. She went to the bathroom thinking she was about to come up, and then realized that it was hot sauce in the condom, and then she yelled, screamed, or whatnot.
And he probably did that. He
But I didn't
probably
know
did that after the fact.
hot sauce
I mean,
doesn't. But hot sauce doesn't kill semen though.
what it does is it burns the girl.
So
It
you
burns
think
the
he?
girl.
You think because Pecan Brown made a point and said that he might have did that knowing that she could do something like that and knew it would burn her. So you think he might have intentionally did that?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's no different from and this gonna sound crazy, but I know this girl who used to put bleach in her in her soda because people used to drink her soda at work all the time. Like people do crazy stuff. I
Are
know
you?
another roommate. Yeah, that was kind of a bit extreme. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I
You
know
can
people
kill
do it.
people.
No, that was a bit extreme. She shouldn't have did that. But no, I do know that the I don't think the whole pulling out the condom thing. But I remember when you grew up in the hood, or I ain't gonna just say this, where I grew up at,
Mm-hmm.
and when you were a male influencer that taught me like, look, because they did well, they knew like, look, these women gonna want to have your baby. You know what I mean? They're just how they are. You got to
Mm-hmm.
breed. You got a lot of women that you are sleeping with that are like low level. Like they're not. They don't. Meaning like their mentality is low.
No, no, no. I got what you were saying. Yeah.
Um, I remember distinctly growing up. You used to wear, and you would have sex. You would when you were finished, you would take the condom off yourself and tie it in a knot.
Mm-hmm.
Tie the top in a knot so they can't get in it, and either
Down the
flush it
toilet.
down the toilet, or you would take it with you, put it in your pocket and take it with you. That's what I remember doing that, like growing up, like take it with you and then throw it, out the window, do whatever with it, but don't get rid of it in the house. You know what I'm saying?
I thought hot sauce, and I until I just googled it a second ago, I actually thought hot sauce killed semen, but it doesn't.
No.
Oh
No,
yeah.
that was to get the girl to, so you'll know like if she in there screaming, you'll know like what she just did. You know what I'm
You,
saying? What she just did.
she
So it's a
thought
way
she was
to,
about to come up.
yeah, yeah. I mean, she still might have came up, but you know what I'm saying.
Well,
But she
she
was
tried to
burning
sue. She tried to sue Drake for pain and whatever she said suffering
because
because
she goofy and she gonna lose.
well that was in 2002. I haven't heard anything about that since after that. But
Yeah,
I want to go back because we got some new folks. Welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker, and I got you. We're talking about sperm jacking today, and you're probably like, "What the hell is that?" Because I was like, "What the hell is that?" It's
as
sperm
well.
theft. It refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves. And fellas, you can be on the hook for a baby that if you did not get consent or knowledge of the pregnancy, you can still be held liable for child support.
The
Pecan Brown
tricky
said,
thing.
yeah. Pecan Brown said, Didi, you got me Googling while I'm in the office. LOL. Girl, this is something new. I ain't never heard this before. Mama said, FA, I want to apologize if I said anything that was insulting to your character. Oh, that was nice, Mama.
Oh, thank you. I don't remember, but I mean, I say a lot of wild stuff, so I don't be taking it personal over. But
Mama said, and didn't I say take it with you? Now, FA, my question for you is if we do start charging these females for sperm theft, because I can't just walk into a store and decide that I want to take stuff because
right,
I would go to jail.
right.
Um, I'm like, should these women be held liable? Should they go to jail for sperm theft? But
Yeah, I think
how do you prove that though?
no, I don't. That would be the difficulty of it because, and this is why I understand the court is still gonna make you pay child support because how can they prove? Because all she got to do is say, no, we had sex.
Right.
And I got, you know what I mean? So how you would have to, it would be one of them unique situations where maybe you got cameras in your house and you witness her doing it in the bathroom. You see her injecting herself with something, or maybe you seen her stealing the condom. You know what I mean? And walking out with it. That might be enough sufficient evidence to be able to at least, prosecute her with stealing because. What the crime is going to probably lay out is it don't have to result in a pregnancy. If they see you stealing his semen, then that's enough to prosecute you.
I wonder how much time. I'm googling how much time this carries. Again,
No, no, that's a real law or this a proposal.
no. Mama said it's a real law.
It's
She
good. That's needed.
she said it's a. She said you could go to jail. She did not know what the penalty was for it. That's why I'm googling it now because I want to know like what is the penalty. There is no specific criminal laws that
That's what I'm about to say. I don't think there's no law for this.
yeah, and an independent crime in most jurisdictions. Instead, the legal consequences depend on the methods used and
But
existing local laws. So
yeah,
yeah,
it might not be one, but they may charge him with like it might be theft. Because like in DC, they got something called like bodily fluids. You know what I
you
mean?
could
That's usually
you could
referring
go
to
to
spit.
civil. You could go to civil court. They said
Definitely go to civil court. You definitely
yeah.
go to civil court, but I think they need to start dropping the hammer on these women with the judicial system is really nice to women, right? When they commit these type of crimes, you know what I mean? They don't treat women like adults. They kind of treat them like women, like they kind of empathize with them, like oh she's a girl, like you know what I mean, that type of thing. So instead of treating them like an adult as far as just being neutral, like genderless. But they really need to stop because the amount of broken homes. Okay, let me ask you this. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
this would be a great example. I want your mom to answer this too. I'm
Okay.
familiar with Ant Man, basketball player Ant Man named Anthony
Yeah,
Edwards.
she might not be,
You're
but I am.
okay. Quick synopsis. Ant Man was an NBA player, big time, big contract, $200 million contract type of player. He was dealing with a girl in Atlanta or wherever in LA,
I know who
wherever.
you're talking about, the girl from Atlanta. Mm-hmm.
She got
I think
pregnant.
she's little baby's first baby mama.
He didn't want to have a baby with her. He didn't want no parts of her. He was completely done. Can I ask you a question? And this is where we may differ. When you tell a man you are pregnant and you don't, he tells you immediately he does not want to have the baby. Who do you contribute to creating the broken home, the woman or the man? In
I
that
say
instance,
I gotta say, like I said yesterday, equally because we both lay down. And
oh,
I
but
don't
they
know.
always
I know you
why
do
do
the
you
same thing.
always phrase it as the men creating these broken homes when they be baby mamas? Or like you know how they get on Cam Newton saying he created all these broken homes, and I'm like, well, why is it that is the male focus? I always hear them saying the men. I've actually never heard them ever say a woman created a broken home. I never ever heard that before.
You're right. I've never heard of it. I'm
Mhm.
sitting here. You're right. It's mostly the men that say it. Mostly men are the ones
That
that they say.
get
Oh,
blamed that he
yeah,
created the broken home.
yeah.
So I just
But
always wonder. I'm like,
I
wouldn't
think
she
it's
be?
I think it's both people. Because if a man tells you up front that he doesn't want a baby, you still lay down there and get pregnant by this man, then you're both equally responsible. You know what I'm saying? But
Or creating a
the
broken
reason why I'm
home.
saying you're both equally responsible, if that man lays down with that woman, she's not on birth control. He knows she's not on birth control. He's not wearing a condom. He's raw dogging it. And then whoop, she has a baby. Is he not
No,
responsible?
she gets pregnant. I think she gets pregnant. I think y'all. Well, we keep differing on these topics is because in my mind, I I separate conception w-
Yes.
different from childbirth. You look at it as one and the same. If you have
Yeah.
sex, you automatically have a baby. That's not the case because there are millions of people who have sex, get pregnant, and never have a baby. Do you understand that? They have an
Wait, you
abortion
said have sex, get pregnant, and never have a baby. How's that?
because they get abortions. That's what
Oh,
I'm trying
okay,
to tell
okay,
you.
okay,
So
okay,
what I'm
okay.
saying is, you are some. Well, yeah, I'm taking sex with her. That doesn't equal a baby. You see what I'm saying? That just equals unprotected sex. You see what I'm
But
saying?
I can't hold one with responsible without holding the other because we're two grown ass adults and we know the consequences
No,
of
I
our
think
actions.
that. I think
If
that.
I sit here and I lay on my back, it's a possibility. If I'm not on birth control
But
and
the
we're not
pregnancy. But
protection, I
I
get pregnant.
agree. Do agree with you that both of them should be held responsible for her becoming pregnant. But now her deciding to go move forward with the pregnancy, I don't see how you hold both of them responsible for that. Okay, do you hold both of them responsible when a man wants to have the baby and she wants to abort it and she aborts the baby? Do you hold both of them responsible for that?
If the woman wants to abort the baby and the man wants
And
to
he,
have it,
he wants to have his baby. Do you hold both of them responsible in that instance?
well, we talked about this yesterday. Oh, did we talk about a woman should have the right to her
No, no, I'm
body?
asking. No, no, I didn't talk about that. I'm asking you. Do you hold both of them? I want to know if you. I'm trying to understand your consistency on this. I'm saying you say okay if you have unprotected sex and you get pregnant, that means then both of y'all are responsible for having the baby. And then I'm saying, well, no, you don't. It don't automatically mean you're going to have the baby, right? It just means you
Right.
got pregnant. And what I'm saying is, yes, both of them would be held responsible equally if she gets pregnant. I would agree
Okay.
with that because both of them did things that ended up with her end up being pregnant. Now,
Okay.
her becoming a actual single mother, she has to have the baby for her to become a mother, right?
Well, then no.
You're not a you're not a mother until you actually have the baby, right?
Right. I think my gripe is I know, and I hate this for you men because there are some of you out there that don't want kids with certain women.
Yeah.
But do you blame that child? I
Oh
feel
no,
like
no, but we're changing the narrative
no, no, no,
because I did.
no, no. Because you don't want anything to do with that mom now because you
Yeah,
said you didn't want to have a kid. That
right.
doesn't mean you should not be in the kid's life.
Right, but that's a different topic. I agree with that, but that's not what we're talking
Okay.
about. We're talking about she just created a broken home.
Both people did. Even though he didn't want the baby.
I just don't see how. Okay, we can move on because I don't want, but I just don't see how both of them did.
Hold on. Let me read some comments and then I want to hear your scenario on this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
because we got some new folks too. New folks, welcome to Discussions with GD Parker. If you're expecting this to be PG-13 today, it is not. I apologize. We are talking about have you ever heard of this terminology? Sperm jacking? Yeah, not me either until today. Well, if you don't know what it is, I'll give you the definition. Sperm jacking is basically sperm theft. It refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves. And it can be done in several ways. They said birth control sabotage, when a woman goes and collects the semen from a man after sex and inseminates herself, and an essay. Mama said, I said it was a crime, not jail time. And in this case, I said he sued her for emotional distress and won, but only because the baby wasn't his. And Mama said my niece's husband would have had a outside baby, agreed to pay child support, but said he doesn't want to be in the child's life.
Yeah.
Um, and Mama said, okay, FA, take but yourself in the woman's shoes. Having an abortion is a very difficult and emotional experience, something a man
Oh,
will never understand. And OC
no,
said,
I
go
understand.
digger.
No, I can understand. I think that sometimes you as the woman and that man, but you are the one that get the abortion. So I'm focusing on you in the moment saying that you did something that landed you in that situation, right? Now you might have to do something that's difficult. I'm not minimizing that getting a termination is difficult, right? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm not saying it's not difficult. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that I remember back in the day, they used to talk about how back in the day when they used to get, you know what the clap is? When niggas used to get the clap.
It's
You
an
know,
STD.
yeah, it's just chlamydia, right?
Oh,
But back in the day, they used to call it the clap. Well, that's what they call it here. And back in the day,
I
they
think
used
it's
to have
still
to
called the clap.
they used to stick a big Q-tip down the pee hole of the man's penis. And it was very, and it was, I never had it, but it would be very painful. And the men would talk about that. So I'm saying that to say that, yeah, sometimes when you do stuff, the consequences may be difficult. You know what I mean? To deal with. That don't mean you don't go, and do it. You kind of understand what I'm saying?
Now I want to hear because we were talking about because you asked me a question.
Yeah.
So who do you feel is responsible then for
Or creating broken
creating?
homes.
Yes.
Women, I think, no, not flat across the board. I'm saying under the circumstances that when the man is telling you, I didn't want a baby, I don't want to have a baby, and they get pregnant and still have a baby, I think that women are to blame to create that's creating these broken homes because the problem is you keep screaming, and this is what Clean Clean is always alluding to. Y'all keep screaming y'all want equality until it's something you don't like. Then no, it's not like, oh, I don't want equality. I want it to be like tough luck. You shouldn't have did X, Y, and Z. But you wouldn't want them to say that to you. Tough luck. You shouldn't have did X, Y, and Z. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
This is why I don't like it. But you know that pro life. Remember pro life and pro choice.
Yeah, I
Pro
remember.
life, pro choice is when a woman can do whatever she wants with her body, get terminations, whatever. Pro
Mhm.
lifers was like, no, a woman should not be able to abort a kid because that's a life, and that life has value, right? Equality when women when women were when women were saying, well, if I don't want the baby, I shouldn't have to have it. Well, because they weren't being what you call it, I guess, reasonable with their projections. They're saying if I don't want to have a baby, I shouldn't have to have it. But if he don't want to have a baby, he should be forced to have it. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
And that's the issue is, oh, you can go and get out of being a mother when you see fit. But he shouldn't be able to get out of being a father when he see fit. That's not equal. That's not equality. You're saying your rebuttal is you, and most women will always say, "Oh, well, he shouldn't have had sex with her unprotected." That's beside the point. She shouldn't have had unprotected sex, and that's
Well,
what
they
they saying
both
to
should.
her now. No, no, this is why when they say now you can't get an abortion, that is them saying to the women, "Well, you shouldn't have had unprotected sex, so now you can't get an abortion." Do you stand with that?
I mean, I see. I definitely see where you're coming.
Mhm.
Where it comes to okay, well, you want the baby, I don't want the baby. But what if I do want the baby and you don't want the
You
baby?
don't want the
You
baby.
still gonna go out and get this abortion without my consent or without
Exactly.
my knowledge,
Right.
um, even if I want to keep this child. I get what you're saying.
But you see how
Um,
having unprotected sex got nothing to do with the decision if a child is born or not?
because
Like,
it's solely up to the woman whether she's going to birth the child
that's
or
why I keep saying, stop saying to people, you shouldn't have had unprotected sex because that has nothing to do with that has something to do if she gets pregnant. That has nothing to do if she decides to go forward with her pregnancy. Do you understand? That's what I
but
be trying to convey.
once she is pregnant, does it give the father? Because a lot of these fathers, I mean, even what's his name said it yesterday. Men don't bear the same consequences. We carry, we birth, we the
No, we
one.
do. We have different consequences. We got child
No,
support.
some of you don't though. Some
Who?
walk
Who don't?
some walk away scot clear and free.
I mean, but those are the exceptions. That's not the normal. You know what I'm saying? Those I don't even know. I don't know no man that got a
and then
baby out here
my
that's
mom just
able out
said
here to scratch free.
my mom just said my cousin, her husband had an outside baby.
I also heard her say that he paid child support.
Yes, he does pay child support, but he doesn't
So
want. But he still doesn't have an active role in this child
that's
support.
his right. That's his right. Just like it's a right, that's his right. Listen, whether I agree or not is beside the point. I'm saying it's his right. Just like it's
But
like
that's
you support the
but is
woman's
that
right
not
to not be
creating?
a mom, but
But is that
you don't think it's not as bad when a woman don't want to be a mother?
but is that not creating broken homes though, Fa? When the father just because
No, I think
this
the
little
woman
boy
created a broken home. She
because this
had a
little
baby with a married man. I mean, what are we talking about? She had a baby with a married man, and you're trying to say that she didn't create a broken home? What did he think?
no,
I mean,
she absolutely did create a broken home.
so it
He did
wasn't
too though.
him. No, I don't think.
He
I mean,
and her did.
okay. What I'm saying is, you can. I'm not disagreeing that you could word it in a way where both of them are could be held responsible for
Yeah.
the home being broken. I guess I am looking at the facts and I'm picking a person to blame. And I'm saying this woman who was sleeping with a married man who already was probably never leaving his wife or whatever, decided to have a baby with a married man. That's so she already knows she's going to be a single mother. She already knows she is going into this knowing that she's going to be in a broken home. So I'm going to blame her for the broken home in that situation.
Okay.
That would be
Hold on.
me.
Let's read some comments. OC Baby said, but she ain't messing with no broke ninjas. Mama said sometimes they are. New folks, welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. We have been chatting about sperm jacking. You're probably like, what the hell is that? It's sperm theft. It refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves. And men, if this happens to you and she bears that child, you could be on the hook for child support, even if you don't want the child. Mama said, what if he never say until she gets pregnant? Then what?
What if he never? Oh, well, in those cases, well, I still think that she created a broken home because listen, I think that both of them were irresponsible to not have
Okay.
that conversation first, right? But if at the moment you miss your first miss period and you like I'm pregnant, I think it's really I don't never know how to say this word upon come to
No.
you. I never, it's a word to say. It really betters you as the woman to make sure you get that clear first because you're the one that gets pregnant. I always look at it like you the one that gets pregnant. So I would think if I was a woman, how about this? And I was sleeping with a man, and we have unprotected sex, I would probably ask him, "Hey, listen, we've been being reckless. What's your if we get pregnant? What's your thoughts on it? Do you want it? Do you not want it? Is that something you want to do? So we can at least try to figure out the best way for us to be able to move forward, right? I would think that you would do that. The man should do it too, because I do it. I ask. I'm not saying that, but I'm really looking at the woman like, well, you're the one that really get pregnant, so you should do it. The man that tells her in the moment, I gotta still hold her as the one because she is the same one that can tell him in the moment that she's not gonna have it and he
Yeah.
wants it. He could tell they could both never say nothing to each other, but the decision always still lies on her. So I'm always going to put it on her because he could say, "Well, I want my baby," and he could be like, and I would just tell him like, what I would tell him was like, "Tough luck. You probably should have had that conversation with her first. You know what I'm saying? If you
Yeah.
wanted that baby and she wanted to abort it." So yeah,
Mama said, never leave your future in someone else's hands. Pecan Brown said, I think when women choose to have a baby, when the man does not want to have one, he has expressed that to her. She should be
thank,
responsible for that child. I agree that she has created the broken home. Okay.
thank you,
Hey,
thank
Black.
you for that.
Okay.
Thank you for that. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to. I've said in the past, any nigga that has a baby, his own flesh and blood, and doesn't take care of it is a coward. I've been on the. I've said that 100 times. I'm not bitter, nigga. I had a baby that I did not want, and I've taken care of her since she was born.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter that I wanted her or not. It's still my flesh and blood, and I'm going to take care of my kid. But me, just because I'm taking care of my kid and I love my kid doesn't mean I have to say, yeah, I wanted the kid at the time. No, I did not want the kid with this girl at the time. And I still think I can still have my opinion of her. But I also believe in men having equal rights to women. Now, sometimes these rights I may not agree with, but if a woman has the right to abort, then a man should have the right to abort too. It's just a different form of abortion.
What up, Clink Clink? I want to go back because you brought something up. You brought Cam Newton up, and I want to bring up Nick Cannon because he's
Yeah.
making all these kids. He has what, 12 kids?
Yeah.
Do you not feel like he's creating broken homes?
I don't necessarily. I think when you got money, I
Mm-hmm.
think when you got money is different because a lot of the things that we contribute to brokenness is because they're lacking financial things, right? So when you got money, you don't really. I mean, yes, these kids. may miss out on certain things, but they're no different from a rich man who's always on business and traveling and is never home and essentially is raised by the maid or the housekeeper
The
and the mom.
nanny.
That
Yeah.
happens a lot too. So I think when you rich, it's a little bit different. I ain't saying you should be going all over the United States having quick kids with all these different people. I'm not necessarily condoning that, but I am saying I don't think it's the same as a regular earning person having 12 kids with 12 different
I could
women. Yeah.
see where they said the broken home comes into, because how can you spend, you're only one person. How do you spend time with 12 kids unless
Well,
they're
it
one
just
place?
depends on your parenthood because a lot of us, even like myself, I believe that fathers should be felt and not always seen. That's a
Really?
saying. Yeah, it's a saying. It's not to say that your children shouldn't see their father. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what your father produces and brings around. Like back in the day, let me just think about this. Back in the day when black men went out and worked 12 and granddaddy worked two jobs or whatever, you think they seen dad a lot? You think
No.
that they was kicking it with dad? You think that dad came home and ate food and didn't go to sleep? They wasn't spending a lot of time, but they still admired this man because of how he worked
Yeah.
and how he produced and the man and the character and maybe some of those lessons he would every now and again they probably would have a day and they would they would embark on certain things. That's called not being seen but being felt. That's why I say no, some fathers need to be felt and not necessarily seen. Women need to be seen, mothers need to be seen. You see what I'm saying? That's what they did, not necessarily fathers.
I had a question for you, Fa. You said that the father shouldn't be seen. Is that what you said?
No, I ain't say shouldn't be seen. I said it was a saying. Back in the day, I was hear my uncles always say this. They would say fathers should be felt, not seen.
Okay. But isn't that not kind of like a contradiction? Because don't they say that the children, especially boys, need their fathers? So
Yeah, yeah. They need their fathers. They see their fathers too. It's not a
okay,
literal. It's not literally never seeing them. They're
okay,
they're trying to say that the fathers don't need to be present as much as the mother as far as being to the day to day. The father don't need to be in there making them lunch and talking
okay.
to them, tucking them to bed every day. That's more the mother's role.
I was, because I never heard that
Yeah.
saying before, but it's you say that because Carl, to me, he wasn't. He was always working. He was
Right.
the provider. I give him credit for being the provider. My mama was the one that held down the
Right.
household, cooked the
And
meals.
that's how well that's traditionally how it always has been. It just started to shift. Feminization has made a lot of men more. Well, I ain't gonna just say that. What I would say is modern day, the advancement in technology and a lot of different things has allowed men to be able to be more present at home. That's why you got a lot of
Mhm.
black men at games and so on and so forth because maybe they make a little more money. They don't have to work as many jobs to be able to survive and live like basic level lives. They can do their 8 hour shift and be able to participate. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Can Rashad come on today? Let's see. We're gonna get Rashad on here real quick.
Oh,
We can do about 20 more. I'm gonna see. Rashad, just, we were on. Rashad, are you there?
And what the fuck?
I can hear,
boom, boom,
can't
boom,
see you.
boom, boom. He
Man,
he
I don't
low
know.
now. Oh, I can hear him.
Yeah.
No, I
Are you
don't.
in a bad area?
I am not. I'm in the same spot I'm always in. I have no idea what's going on.
We
They
can
done
hear you
banged your
though.
ass.
They might
We
have.
got.
Oh, there
Oh,
you
there you go.
go.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
All
Yeah.
right,
All right. So,
go.
Rashad, welcome to Discussions with Didi Parker. We've been talking about sperm jacking.
Mhm.
Do you know what that is, or is he stuck?
I think he's stuck.
I think he's stuck. I'm like, is he stuck? Hold on, Rashad. I'm gonna let you back in. He finally got you on to get you off. That's crazy. Um, I don't know. I don't know. FA, I just, like I said, I'm always gonna say, like, I feel like we're both equally responsible, especially Nick Cannon making 12 damn kids. Like, sir, when are you going to be able to see all these children? But I mean, to your point, you're saying that the father's supposed to be. Rashad, are you back with the same picture? There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, this is
All right.
this.
Rashad, have you heard of sperm jacking?
Uh, yeah, it's called a happy ending, ain't it?
No, it is not. It's sperm theft.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah.
When my sperm get jacked, I willingly give it away.
Ah, shut up,
That
Rashad.
one, yeah.
So sperm jacking, and then see that's why he.
You know what's so funny though? This was so normal growing up. I'm not necessarily saying I know a lot of girls that was actually jacking sperm. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the precaution was so normal because I grew up an athlete and I was good where I'm from. So it
Yeah.
was like known early, like, hey, no, listen, these girls will have your baby. Like, make sure you are, you know what I mean?
But
So that
they
was
didn't call
so
it sperm.
normal.
They didn't call it sperm jacking, did they?
No, not then. Not then. Not
Oh.
then. I think that's just somebody made up right now. But
I was
because
about to say
jacking is slang, that's not a legal term.
or sperm theft. I mean, I've never heard of sperm theft before.
That's not that's just something because it's not even actually law. Somebody just labeling it that. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I think it's Mama said it. I think she said it's a law, but you can't get any jail time
I don't make that. I don't. Okay, that doesn't make sense. But I
because
get what you.
she actually gave me this topic today, Mama. She saw this on a court TV show. The
Right.
girl was taking the boy to court because she thought he impregnated her. Well, she knew he impregnated her because she used a turkey baster to get impregnated. Found out that the baby wasn't his, and then he won for emotional distress in the case.
Yeah, that's civil. That was a civil case.
No, she was suing him for child support.
Yeah, that's not criminal.
Oh yeah. I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
civil.
yeah,
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 that's not criminal. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah. I don't
yeah,
think it.
yeah. He's not requesting for child support, but yeah, I got you.
She
Yeah,
was
yeah. I mean, but
she
this
wanted.
is, I mean, how low? I just be trying to wonder, like, who daughter is that? Like, who is proud to say that's my daughter? Like, what mother is proud to say, I'm so proud that I raised a daughter that turkey basted her way into having a child. Is that like something a woman y'all would be proud of?
No, I just
I
when
mean,
I told you when the whole
I
Drake
be
thing came
wondering
out,
why
I
the
was like,
outrage.
yeah.
Remember when you
Now
were so worked up about the it was
puberty.
something you was worked up and you was like, men, why are men not? I think it was like the some website with some grape on it or something, or how to grape your wife, or I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah,
But you
yeah,
was
yeah.
kind of worked up, and I was just sitting there, and I was just like, I wonder why you not so worked up, or why the women don't be so worked up when they hear women do these just egregious acts. Because this is sexual
Oh no.
assault.
I never, again, I've never, this is my first time hearing about sperm jacking, Rashad. It's refers to the act of a person using a man's semen without his consent or knowledge to impregnate themselves.
You never heard of turkey basting? You don't remember when they used to be like they used a turkey baster? You never heard this
I,
before?
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
not
they
to
used
the
to
Drake.
call it turkey base. So they would use it back in the day. They have a turkey base, and they would. That's how they would withdraw the semen, and then they would shoot it back up themselves, and they would say turkey base.
I must have not been paying attention in health class because I really thought that
No,
once.
these ain't real terms. These this some hood
No,
shit.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
I thought once y'all shooters entered, like the sperm caught it, that they were dead. I didn't even know that they could go back, take the
Oh no, they
condom.
live. Oh yeah, they live. No, they live in the condom, 100%. They
No, I
it
thought.
was a misconception that when air touched it, that it would die. That's not true
Yes,
either.
that's what I thought.
That's not true.
Oh,
No, you
so when air
no.
touches it, they don't die.
No, no, no. A girl can scoop it off her face or her stomach and put it in herself.
No,
Yes, they could. Yeah, yeah. If the sperm air doesn't kill sperm, I don't know where they get that from.
that's why I told you I didn't pay. I must have not been paying attention in health class that
Yeah,
day because
yeah, yeah, yeah. Air doesn't
could
kill sperm.
I could have swore that air once your little shooters didn't shoot up the club that they were dead.
No, no. We wish. We wish. No.
And this
Absolutely not.
that's why I thought Drake put the hot sauce in the condom to make them dead.
No, he was doing that. Well, maybe he thought. I don't know. Maybe he thought that would have killed them, but I knew that wasn't. To me, that was to see what the girl was doing. He may have had a hunch that this girl was doing that, and he wanted to be able to get the confirmation. Her screaming in that bathroom provided confirmation. You know what I'm saying? He should have put something far worse than sperm in there.
No, because he could have went to jail.
No, he can't go to jail for putting something in your used condom. You can't go to jail for that. What are you talking about?
Well, she tried to. Well, she could have won some money. I don't know if she even got
There
any
wasn't
money.
no money. She
No,
can't.
she sued him or
I
tried
don't
to
care.
sue
You
him.
can sue people for anybody. I'm saying she wouldn't have won.
Oh
You
well,
know what I'm saying?
Drake might have gave her some money to be
He
quiet.
might have just to
Um,
get out. Yeah, to get rid of the case.
well, you said you thought some jacking was something else, but now that you know the definition, what are your thoughts?
Who, me?
Yes, you, Rashad.
Oh, I knew what sperm jacket was. It was just an
Oh,
obvious great joke.
oh. Mama.
Look, man, I'm on my Kevin Hart roast tip right now. But
Forget Kevin Hart. He didn't even defend the black people.
now. All right. This is we have to understand one thing. Um, when you and Dee Dee, you should definitely, understand to a degree. But when you are a public figure like that, you have to be you have to be wise about how you move and how you maneuver. Here's the deal. He knew that racist was gonna be he knew that racist was gonna be a
Your
part
mother's wild. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
I saw the question, but go
of it.
Oh
Nope.
my God.
You drinking up all them babies. You drinking
Man,
up
you
all
Yes.
the
clear
babies,
skin.
mama.
So mama
Hmm.
asked the question. She said,
Yeah.
so I have a question. The sperm in your mouth doesn't die, I guess, after you sip it.
I mean, not until it hit the stomach and the
Yeah.
asses.
I really thought y'all shooters died like once I really anyway, I did not pay attention in health class that day, clearly.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. The professional world really never addressed that topic. It was always something that was just floating around in the hood. And, and anything that was floating around in the hood in the 90s was gospel, even though it wasn't no validity to it. We just take it and we, ran with it. So, but, because and it was a point where I used to think that, it died upon impact to
I
oxygen in
did
the
too.
ground, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's be realistic. I didn't mess around with them types of chicks that I would have to be concerned about. So it was never really an issue for me. But
Uh, Rashad, I have a question for you because we were talking about broken homes and who's responsible. Who do you feel is responsible for creating these broken homes?
well,
No,
here's
no, not
Black community.
necessarily. Hold on, let me rephrase it. Not,
Okay.
not, not necessarily who's responsible, because that's too much of an easy way to just say both. We're saying that the scenario was the woman gets pregnant. The man says no. The man tells the woman he doesn't want to have a baby, and they having fun or whatever, and then she ends up pregnant. She's fully aware of knowing that she don't want to have a baby. He doesn't want to have a baby. Tells him, and then he says, "Okay, but I told you I didn't want to have a baby. I don't want to be a part. I don't want to be a father. I want to remove myself." And a woman still decides knowingly that she will be having a child by herself. Is that not her creating the broken home? Was the scenario, or would you still say both of them?
No, it starts with the man knowing that he does not want that responsibility and
Right.
still being selfish by going through with the act of making a baby because the man knows how to make a baby. And what we look for is a cop out. I've been around way too many dudes that's just like, hey, it's almost the same thing as like a dude going to a chick and being like, hey, I'm letting you know I ain't gonna be no good, but I still want to fuck. So if you fuck, just know expect what's coming. I understand being honest. I get it. But at the end of the day, you still made a conscious decision. Sometimes we need to be strong enough as men to
Right.
just do what the fuck is right. right? We
From a
don't do
low. Right.
we don't hold men accountable for ethics. We don't hold men accountable for value and
Maybe
things like
true.
that because
There is some
everything.
truth in that.
No, 100% true because
There's some
everything that
truth in
we
that.
do, that's what the fucking bro code is. The bro code
Yeah.
is a pass on being
Yeah, they
held
have the same
responsible.
thing. Well, they have that too. Can I
That,
ask you a
that,
question?
that,
Would you say that the woman who knowingly, knowingly, that the woman who doesn't want to have a child, right, and she's participating in unprotected sex, and she knows how to get herself pregnant. But I'm just gonna frame it the way you just framed it, like
mhm.
how the nigga. So she knows how to get herself pregnant. She fucked around and got herself pregnant. When she goes and get that abortion, she's a murderer, right?
I don't look at that as being a murderer because
She
it's
killed her life, right?
it's no, she prevented a life from being created. That's a
So it's
difference.
already created. When you're pregnant, oh, that's the semantics thing. Oh, so when you're pregnant, the baby is not alive.
The baby is not alive, right? So you're
Oh, that's your
preventing.
belief.
Well, no, dude. Here's the thing. It's like up to a certain point, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you have the heartbeat, you have all the other things, but it's still a fetus and embryo, and it's still partially developed. Partially developed, it's not fully
Right, but
developed.
develop. Yeah, but that doesn't determine something being alive.
Sure, it
Fully
does.
developed.
Sure, it does. It's a process before it can. It has to get to a certain point before it's actually alive. It's being created. Being
So,
created. That's just like
so
check this
is
out.
a
That's just like
so
saying, go ahead.
is a tadpole alive?
Is
You
a
know what a
tadpole like? Yeah,
tadpole is?
yeah, and I
So when a
understand what a
tadpole
tadpole
is
is.
swimming around in the water, is it alive?
So yeah, a tadpole
Is it
is
in its final
partially.
form?
It's
Is
not
it
in
in
its
its
final. Once
but
again,
it's
there's a
alive
certain
though.
point. There's the thing. There's a certain point. I can't get into
That's that
the
kind of that semantics thing where that's why I didn't really want to go into that because I can tell what you're. Some people just feel like life doesn't really exist until a certain stage.
but
Fair enough.
but
And I'm
having
saying
said
I
that.
believe once you pregnant, to me, you're alive. It's
But
alive.
but here's my point. I don't believe in people going to get abortions. I want to state that, right? I don't
Okay.
I don't believe that you should make a selfish decision after well, let me I don't believe that decision should be made after the you made the decision to do what it takes to make a baby, right?
Right.
If you don't address it up front, if you're able to, like, if it's not causing you, death or hemorrhaging, hemorrhaging, hemorrhaging,
Hemorrhaging. It's
hemorrhaging,
hemorrhaging.
what,
You got
hemorrhaging,
hemorrhaging. Hemorrhaging.
hemorrhaging.
We know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
up? Hemorrhage. If you're not hemorrhaging, fuck, that's gonna kill me. I gotta figure that out. But if you're not, if it's not causing you a decision to, to
Life or death
This
sound.
is not a life or death decision, right? I don't
Right.
believe that people should do it. I just don't, right? But I also don't agree that just because, yep,
What do you call it then?
it's
So if it's
what do you
not
call it?
murder, then what do you call it? What
It's
is
life.
it?
It's life prevention, right? It was about to be born, right? It was about to be created. It had not been created as of yet, so you prevented it. It wasn't
But your
murder.
creation is. But you're saying, but in the same breath, you personally believe that life something is alive and has life before it's born. You do believe that though, right?
I believe before it's born, there is a point where yes,
It's
it is
still
a
life,
yes.
but
Yeah,
prior to that, it's not a life.
yeah, because that's
Okay,
that's physical chemistry, right? It has
that's
to get,
That's very consistent with the Democratic.
but 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 but
I'm
but
just
that
picking
but
at you.
that's
I'm just picking
science
at
though.
you.
But yeah, I was just gonna say
No, no,
that's
no. I
science.
don't think. No, no, no. That's not science. Science is when people agree upon shit, right? That's when a bunch of people just. That's what a scientific fact is. It's not that it's proven. It's just that enough people just agree upon it, and we're gonna call it truth, right? So you saying that life, I can say. First of all,
Barometer.
science is not what determines truth for me, right? When it doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
What makes you in a position to where you could just completely defy everything that our entire world is built on?
Well, our entire world ain't built on science, but what I will say is this: before science, something existed, right?
Agreed.
So and science has been proven to be unreliable at about in, in all things. In some things, sure, but not in all things, right? I mean, it
Okay.
was a scientific fact that Pluto was just a planet a couple years ago,
Well,
right?
yeah.
And it's not. So we know that it doesn't mean that it's actually been proven, right?
Well,
It's just that they
it was
agree
how it was
upon it.
identified. It was how it was identified, and then at the end of the
Sure.
day, the description changed. So that is the
Right.
fallacy. That's the
No,
fallacy
no,
that you're
no.
speaking of. No, it didn't change because the reason that it was not a planet was because a planet had the definition of a planet had evolved, and so it was too small to be a planet, which is
This
why
is
it's
the
now a
issue. Well, let
dwarf
me just tell
planet.
you what this, and these are all scientific words that allow you to be able to change. Because now you're saying the word evolved. So whatever I used to call this as a scientific fact, if I change it now, that's you call that evolution. I call that a mistake. That means you were wrong at first, and now you're changing it, and so you were wrong. But that's neither here nor there.
Well,
I guess my belief on life was and I ain't gonna get too Christian up in here, but when the, when the Bible say, "I knew you before you was formed in your mama's belly,"
right.
okay, that means that he was referring to a life. You know what I mean? So the moment that you to me are pregnant, that's my parameter, not
So
science. Your parameter may be science and a certain stage. My parameter is life exists once the woman is pregnant.
okay, so to the point that you were making about I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. When he
Right?
said before you were formed,
Yeah.
that's before any of that started. He's
Of
talking
course.
about he's talking about when you were separated, when
No, I
you
didn't.
were
No. I
23
wasn't. No, I
chromosomes in your
wasn't saying
mom and
that.
23
No, I
chromosomes in your
wasn't.
dad.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I know what he was saying. He was
Okay,
trying to say he knew you before you was ever even thought of. But that's not what that.
100%.
But that's not what the point that I was making.
Well, why did
You
you
know what I'm
use that
saying?
as a reference then if it wasn't
Because
supporting
he
the
was
statement
trying
that
to
you made?
say you had life even before you were born.
So are
So
you
what I'm
saying
saying is, I mean, I'm sorry, before you was even before you even was impregnated in your mother's
concede?
womb.
Yeah, concede,
So
right?
So what I'm saying is, if you had life then surely the tadpole has life. I don't know how you can say a tadpole has life and then yet it's not fully developed. But you could call that life, but you can't call something with a heartbeat
There's certain
is
points.
not life.
Once
Not something
again,
with a heartbeat, not life.
there's certain points. But
That's
back to
neither here
your
nor there. Yeah.
your point. If you're saying that if he can claim life before conception,
No, he said know of you, not claim life. I'm
no,
saying he said he knew of you. He knew
but
you.
you said because he knew you before that, then life started when
No,
they
I
were
didn't say
separated.
life start. No, I didn't
So
say life started then.
okay, so I'm trying to figure out
All I'm saying is he is speaking about knowing you before you were ever even thought of,
100%.
right? And
Yeah,
I was using that to connect with this idea that once you were born, you are now a life, and he already knew you as a life prior to you being born. So I was kind of connecting that with saying the moment the woman is pregnant, it's a life. That's my belief in it. My
okay,
belief
fair
is
enough.
not science, and science saying a life is not until she's 12 weeks or something. I don't know. Whatever
Okay,
they determine
fair
it
enough.
is. That's what I meant by I don't go by science. You know
Fair
what I'm
enough.
saying? 'Cause they can say anything.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's
But at the end of the day, neither one of us actually believe that abortion is okay. That's the biggest thing.
we do agree with that.
All right.
Sperm jacking.
And
Should they go to jail? Oh, go ahead, my bad.
Hell
okay.
yeah, they should go to jail. Man, that was the most gutter
Hey.
shit
Yeah,
ever.
that was some raw
How
shit,
about this?
man.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Okay. Um, there are very few men that go around and say, I can't have kids, and then go
Yeah, I don't
busting
think I've
somebody.
ever heard that before.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, there are men
It's
that can't.
happened, but
Yeah.
I'm sure.
you rarely hear it, right?
Yeah.
So the lie that men tell women affects, it affects the woman
What's the
that
lie?
for that moment. That so I mean, shit. I'm not cheating on you with your sister. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. The lies that we tell
Yeah,
affect the person in that moment. The
you're right.
lies that women tell,
Oh, they vicious. That's why I used to be like, you heartless. Yeah,
18 years, and found out it wasn't his. That was the realest line in that whole shit.
that's a different level of sickness to me. Like, don't get me wrong, we all lie. And we all can, but it's a different, it's levels to lying. And the lies that I see women do, like y'all do the most vicious. You know what it is? And I used to tell this to my wife. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't speak for all men,
You
obviously,
married
but
now, bro?
oh yeah, yeah, I got married in
You did
October. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Well,
yeah. Thank you, bro.
congratulations, nigga.
Yeah,
God
thank my
damn.
bad. Man,
Fuck.
you been missing the chat, man. You
Yeah.
been missing
Bro,
the
I
chat.
have. You man, it's been a long
Yeah.
2026. God damn. Okay.
I used
God,
to
you live
tell
too
her
long.
this. I used to say, when niggas lie, and just my experience, I ain't talking for all men, but my experience, when niggas lie, they often lie not with the intent to hurt you. They often lie with the intent to not hurt you. See what I'm saying?
You sound
Well,
like
And
Shelby from
no,
TikTok.
forget lying. I ain't mean to say lying. When niggas do things that may hurt you, they may like cheat or whatever. They usually are not cheating with the intention to hurt you. Like I'm gonna get. And then when women do shit, they
so
do
let
it
me
with the intent to hurt you.
so let
They
me add
want you to find out. Like you
so
know what
let
I'm
me
saying?
let me add to what the first point you made. When men do things to hurt you, they don't do it to hurt you. They do it because men are selfish.
Selfish. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
So
yeah, sure.
men don't hurt women to hurt women. There are
Right.
very few men out there that I mean
Intentionally.
that just be like, I'm just gonna go dog every bitch out. Even though
Yeah, yeah, for
there
sure.
are some niggas
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
sure, sure. Yeah, better
Gotta
niggas.
be real.
Very rare.
However, but women will do things to ensure that a man's life is destroyed. Right?
Yes. Thank you.
We can go further than the babying is. Shit, let's go to he raped me.
Mm.
And the dude ain't got, shit. And
Oh,
how many times now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying rape doesn't happen, but what we're talking about is the fact that women will
Right.
use the police to
Hey, say
destroy a
say
man's life.
hold on, say great in the future because when you say the R word, they'll ban you from live. It's weird. So
Yeah,
just
I've
say
been seeing
great.
everybody
Yeah,
change
that's
that.
it. That'd be
Okay,
weird.
yeah, you
They'll
gotta
ban
say
you.
okay.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mama said she agreed with you, Rashad. Mama said a woman doesn't get herself pregnant. What is that? Mama said so. Then you should not believe in abortion. If you believe that it's a life when conceived. Abortion is a
I
choice.
do.
Rather you believe it it's a life or not. And she
Yeah,
said
they
two
can
wrongs.
and they took it away from you too.
And she said two wrongs don't make it right. All right.
No, I do. I agree with I agree that abortion is wrong. I've grown to this level. I didn't always think that. But what I'm saying is we just are differing is when I believe life starts the moment you are pregnant. Like the moment you are pregnant, the sperm fertilizes the egg and attaches to the wall and creates a sac or whatever that shit you know what I mean. The very moment when that motherfucker is there, I believe that's life. Now that's neither here nor there. That's just my personal opinion.
But now let's also be honest, man, because
Yeah,
I really, I really get away from that whole it's life debate because the majority of people that are holding on to the fact that we got to protect life at its inception are the same
right.
motherfuckers that's letting these kids get stolen and trafficked and that's letting these kids starve because they can't get,
Letting,
food and shit,
letting,
after
letting,
school. Letting, letting,
letting.
yes, letting.
Meaning like they control it, they can stop it. Is that what you're saying?
Meaning that they are not as upset about the actual kids that have been birthed because you don't
But
hear, watch this. Abortion is the biggest thing that you hear, let's talk about it, in the Republican
yeah,
Party, right? But you don't hear the
police and
Republicans saying
reason.
shit about pedophiles. They don't say one goddamn thing about pedophiles. None.
So what
Absolutely none.
do you say? So when Black Lives Matter, play devil's advocate, when Black Lives Matter was a big thing, I could say the most of them black people that were peddling Black Lives Matter, you don't never hear them say one thing about Hispanic Lives Matter. You never heard them say one thing about anything else, right?
Okay,
You don't
now,
hear, so they can't. So
but there was a reason for that.
what
No,
I'm
no.
trying to highlight is people can be focused and care about something. You don't get to then tell them if you care about this, then you should be just as passionate about that. You don't get to tell them that. I can just say, hey, listen, I like to donate to cancer research. You don't have to. You gonna what? Why you care about cancer research? What about all these orphans all over? If I got a passion about this and I feel convicted about abortion, you can't then tell them don't be. You can't feel this way if you don't feel this way about something else. No, you can't tell them that. I can be passionate about whatever the hell I want to be passionate
fair
about.
enough.
So I
Here's
think
my point.
that's
Here's
hypocritical.
here is my point, right? When you say Black lives, you
The
are
matter, the movement,
yeah, yeah. When you say Black Lives Matter,
not the literal sense, but go
no,
ahead.
no, yeah. So when you're
Yeah,
talking about Black Lives Matter, right? You are addressing a people that has had the hardest element of oppression in the entire United States, and that is still having the hardest set of challenges. So you are focusing on a people and their challenges. If you
what
say,
that got to
"Hey,
do?
what does that got to do with it?" That's why
Yeah,
you're
what that got
supporting
to
Black
do?
Lives Matter. You're supporting Black Lives Matter
No,
because
no, no, no. What I'm saying is a person could say, why you only focusing on
I'm,
Black
I,
Lives
I'm about to
Matter?
answer your question. I'm about to answer the
Okay,
question.
okay,
So
okay.
the reason why there are some people that are only focused on Black lives is because the Black lives have been marginalized the hardest. They have been oppressed the hardest on American soil.
And
So,
listen, and there are white men that are saying or black men. I can't remember who bought more babies, white women or black or white or black women. I can't remember which one. But whichever one, they could be like, no, I'm an advocate for abortion because the white women. White lives are being murdered at abortion and at the hardest and the highest level of numbers in comparison than anybody else. They can say the same thing,
that don't make
and they
any
can.
sense. I didn't get that.
You're
Mama
saying
said,
that. Go ahead.
go ahead. Mama said
No, you
what Rashad is saying, you should not just be concerned about the unborn baby and not the babies already born.
Well, yeah. And
say
so
it again. Say
hold on
that
for a
again.
second. Hold on
They
for a
should
second.
never believe in killing a life, even if you don't want a baby. Okay. What Rashad is saying is you should not just be
Right there.
concerned about the unborn baby and not the born. No, I already. But
Well,
you don't. That doesn't mean that they're not concerned.
so hold one second. Hold 1 second. Right.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the dialogue about life in the womb
Yeah.
versus life after the womb,
Right.
it would make because if you can I can eloquently break down why I say Black Lives Matter only. I can give you rationale that is justifiable that would potentially make sense in a rational person's mind.
Sure.
No one can break down why your position on God damn it.
You got a call.
Oh yeah, I do.
I
Okay.
can't. I can't.
Hey, let me head out. I'll hit you back.
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right. Thank you. All right.
We
Thanks.
be all over the place.
We do, but it'd
You
be good
you
conversation.
gotta know what'd be funny because you guys. It's funny because I'm versed in a lot of these different topics. I can be holla. I can tell when the Democrat in him comes out. See, he can't help but this. It's funny though because he's contradicting himself because his Christian belief forces him to say he don't not approve abortion, but it's also supposed to tell him once she is with child, then it has life. That's his Christian belief, forcing to tell it forces him to have that position. The problem is the Democratic position isn't that. So now he has to play this game where, like, well, I'm not really saying it's alive at the time. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe at a certain point it's alive. If
It's
something has a heartbeat, let me just tell y'all this. I don't know how weird y'all are, but when something has a heartbeat, it's alive. Okay. I don't. First of all, I think it's alive before that. But beside the point, you if something has a heartbeat, and it has a heartbeat as early as like 4 weeks, you don't put it like this. 99% of the women don't even know they're pregnant. By the time they find out they're pregnant,
yeah.
it already has a heartbeat.
But then it makes me confused though, Efe, with your stances because you do encourage you like, yeah, don't go have these babies by
No,
these.
I'm battling. I'm battling. What I'm saying is don't have children before marriage. And
I got,
I always say that, and my prevention is don't get pregnant, right? That's my prevention. I mean, that's my ultimate goal. I say if you get pregnant, you know,
you have options.
I think that
Ain't natural. This
this
is
is,
a
I just to be honest, I don't think that you should be having children, you know what I mean, with outside of marriage. Just put it like that. That's the
mama.
most, and I'm battling with that.
I got you. Mama said they just want to stop abortion because the YT women are not having enough babies. And we're gonna close it out on this. It's so
Okay.
funny because I was gonna do a topic with the pastor talking about the Democratic Party and blasting them and saying how they're turning all the women into bees. I think that's what he said, and all the men into peas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Oh yeah, for sure.
we may cover that.
I think especially in our community specifically.
We may cover that one tomorrow because he's been getting a lot of backlash for it. What are your final thoughts today, sir? Because we were kind of all
Yeah,
over.
man, I think they need to be a little more stricter on women when it comes to the judicial system. When these things start to happen, to me, these intentionally, when these women intentionally are getting pregnant as some type of care package. It ain't even just, you stealing nut. It's women that intentionally are trying to get up under a football player just to have a baby. You know what I mean? Like these things, obviously that's not a crime. I mean, it wasn't great. It was consenting sex under those conditions, but I just think that the consequences for some of these things, I think they get too much. Just like, okay, okay, you lied and told another man that that was his baby, and 20, when his baby turned 18, we find out it's somebody else's baby. Like that's devastating for the father, for the
Yeah.
child. Like how, like these things need to be. They need to be real consequences for this. You know what I mean, and not just kind of like a shoulder shrug. It seems like it's always like a shoulder shrug. Oh, well, that's just kind of, no, nigga. The emotional trauma, all the money that man spent on this child, thinking that that was his child, like, that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it needs to be a little bit, I don't know how to make more consequences in these circumstances. I don't know, but what I'm saying is something need to happen. Maybe jail time, maybe a fine, maybe
Well,
something.
that's
You
like,
know what
but
I'm saying?
in this situation with the sperm jacking, it's kind of hard to prove because it's your
It's
word.
kind of hard to prove. But I
Yeah,
think you don't create laws based on the difficulty of proof. You create laws based on morality. Is it wrong? Then make it a law. Okay, if it's wrong, make it a law. Now we may have the burden of trying to prove it, but that's beside. We also listen. It's hard to prove when grown people touch children too. Hard to prove. Ain't nobody see it, and you can't rely on a 4-year-old's word.
but they're
You know what
gonna
I'm
go.
saying?
They're gonna
But
go your word. If a four year
but
old
they
comes,
created.
if a 4 year old comes and says such and such, oh, they're gonna look into your ass
That's the
without a
point. But I'm saying
yeah.
no matter how difficult it is to prove, they still created the law. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Listen, ladies, do not be out here stacking or doing sperm theft. You are better than that. Please don't do this.
I
This
actually
is.
don't think I don't think that's happening a lot, to be honest.
I was gonna say I want to do a poll. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
see how many ladies is out here. Like I know my rich fellas, my rich guys
yeah,
probably got to worry about stuff like this.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, for
you said
sure.
people who, yeah, but everyday people, y'all out here
Nah,
stealing
I don't
this.
really see it. You know why? Because we give ourselves too willingly. Meaning, like, men will sleep with low level women. They don't gotta really steal it. They just, you know what I'm saying? They just gotta
But
not get up
what
when the
about if
nigga
that
say he
low?
about to come.
What if that low level woman realizes that you a good man and she want a part of
That's what
that?
a lot of them do. That's what a lot of them do. They no. These women ain't dumb. They know what they doing. Like they know that they can recognize the potential and they can see how well. They said no. I'm gonna be attached to that because shit. If I have a baby with him, nigga, I know I can get me 1,500 for the next 18 years a month. You know what I'm
The bottom of the line is wrap it up, use birth control, or just don't have
saying?
sex. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
finally, men, y'all better start thinking with your first head and not your second head. Be smart. All
that's
right, I'll
true.
see
That's true.
you tomorrow because I know Friday y'all be out in these streets. So I'll do it case to case. If not, if I don't do it tomorrow, y'all have a great weekend. I like that hat, F. That's MTV, right?
And uh,
That's MTV. Is that MTV or just the
n-
M?
no, it's just M.
Oh, it looked like it could be
It's
like
from
MTV.
Maryland. I think they,
Oh,
I
okay,
think
yes.
they, but I think they did a play on MTV. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah, like
saying?
I
I
was like,
think,
okay, MTV. That was mine. Okay. All right. If
yeah.
not, y'all have a good weekend. If you're in the ATL, make sure you check me out, Kiss 104.1 on Saturday and Sunday. All right. FA,
Shout
see you next
out.
see you next
Yo.
week. All right, bye.